I'm Jeff Matlow. Welcome to the best leadership podcast ever. Welcome back to the pod. It's always great to have you here. I just want to jump right into it because we're going to have a difficult conversation about difficult conversations. I know there's a difficult conversation you need to have, and I bet it's not going to go well. You know that, I know that, we all know that. You most likely recognize that you need to have that conversation, but you're not going to do it quite yet. It's not that you're procrastinating. You're just waiting for the right moment, whatever the hell that means. And you keep waiting because you know it's going to go poorly. And you're right. Not because the conversation is difficult, because you are. Here's what usually happens. You rehearse the conversation in your head for days. You practice what you'll say and how you'll say it. You figure out your response to their response to your response to their response. And one day, you finally find the courage to have the convo. So you pull them aside, and before you even say a single word, they can sense something's wrong. You don't even get past the nervous niceties before their legs are crossed, arms folded over their chest, and their face is braced for battle. You think to yourself, I knew this would be difficult. This is exactly what I thought would happen. But the one thing you didn't expect is the one thing you're ignoring. It's all happening because of you. I worked with a leader, let's call her Amy because that was the name of my college girlfriend, and she reminds me of difficult conversations. Amy needed to talk to an employee about missing deadlines. She spent a week preparing for the conversation as if it were an Olympic main court matchup. She planned to have the talk on a Friday afternoon so she could make a quick escape and have the weekend to recover. And when she finally started the conversation, Amy began it by saying, "You're always late on every project, and it's unacceptable and disrespectful." From that moment on, the conversation went exactly how Amy expected. The employee got defensive and made excuses, and they disagreed with each other until they both quit the conversation frustrated. Amy called me for help. She described the scenario and ended with, "This is exactly why I hate those types of conversations." But what really happened was different than what she was telling me. Both her brain and her employee's brain did what human brains have been doing for millennia. They defended themselves. I'm going to teach you an easy way to put the old kibosh on that. There are 3 reasons why Amy's conversation had no chance of going well. First, she waited a week to have it. That built up her anxiety so much, she was like a lit fuse looking for a bomb to explode. Secondly, she overgeneralized behavior by using words like always and every. And third, she made it personal by calling him disrespectful. All of that happened before she finished her opening sentence. She essentially lost control of the conversation before it even started. The bad news is that you're probably doing the same damn thing. You're scheduling serious conversations instead of just talking. You're using always, every, and never. You're talking about who they are instead of what they did. And you're subtly berating them, usually before you finished your opening sentence. Every single one of these behaviors tells the brain it's being attacked. And when someone feels attacked, they defend. That's not them being difficult. That's a you problem. Before I give you the solution, I need you to understand something. This isn't just about work. Your patterns show up everywhere. It's in the conversation you're avoiding with your kid about that thing they did. It's in the conversation you need to have with your partner about how they spoke to you. And it's in the boundary you need to set with your parent about their advice. I guarantee that you're running the same unconscious pattern and getting the same frustrating result. Because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you're avoiding conflict at work, you're also avoiding it at home and vice versa. So let me share with you how to fix it. To turn difficult conversations into easy ones, all you need to do is use a simple conversational model that removes all the confrontational energy. Easy peasy, my friend. It's called a C.A.R.E conversation, and gosh dang it if it isn't magical. You see, the reason it works is because it makes it virtually impossible to sound like you're attacking someone. Because you're not. You're just solving a problem and you're doing it together. Sounds good, right? I know. Here's how the C.A.R.E conversation works. The C stands for clarity. Clearly define the behavior in question, but do it without any emotion. A is for ask. You then ask them for their perspective on what happened. Then R is for resolution. You discuss what you each can do differently moving forward. And E is for empathy. You end the conversation with respect, acknowledgement, and empathy. You know what? Let me give you an example so you can put it all together. Here's the situation. Let's say Alex, whoever Alex is, missed a deadline and it impacted other people. Now let me run through what a conversation looks like from your perspective using clarity, ask, resolution, and empathy. We start with clarity. Hey Alex, I want to touch base about that client report. It was due Wednesday but was delivered on Friday. And unfortunately, that pushed back other teams and almost caused a delay in meeting the client deadline. And then you get to the ask. Can you walk me through what happened on your side? And then you let Alex respond. You listen, like really listen. And after that, you give resolution, which could look something like this. I got it. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for explaining that. Going forward, I'll make sure I'm more clear on the deadlines. Also, it would help if you let me know in advance anytime a deadline is at risk. Do you have any concerns about that? Also, from your side, what would help you hit the deadlines more consistently? And again, you listen to Alex respond. And then you get to empathy at the end. I know you're working hard on these projects, Alex, and I really appreciate all you're doing. I also know those timelines can get tight. So thanks for having this conversation. You see how that goes? Clarity, ask, resolution, empathy. It's a C.A.R.E conversation. You know, when I started teaching leaders how to have C.A.R.E conversations, the feedback was immediate. You know why? Because the conversation suddenly isn't difficult anymore. It's exactly how I worked my way out of the fear of having difficult conversations. It turns it into just a couple of people solving a problem together. The C.A.R.E conversation changed my life, and it will change yours. So it's time to put an end to your anxiety about those difficult conversations. I created a C.A.R.E toolkit, which is the simple solution for the difficult conversations. And it includes scripts for the 12 most common scenarios you're going to find in difficult conversations. It includes before and after comparisons, what a conversation is like before C.A.R.E and what it's like after C.A.R.E. And I even put in a prep worksheet to plan your care conversations on your own. In addition, there is an article on the back of that that outlines everything that we've just talked about here. Hundreds of leaders use the C.A.R.E model to turn difficult conversations into productive discussions. If you want the C.A.R.E toolkit, there's a link below. Click that link and it'll take you over to it. Thanks for listening. I always appreciate you here. Click that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. And I'll talk to you next time. Take care. See what I did there?